Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. Okay, so I am trying to meditate and get my mind right before I go to work, and it's kind of hard because of all that's going on, and it's something that apparently will never stop, and it's very infuriating. So, y'all already see the title, so let's just get into it. So, I am trying my best to wait until I get off work today before I view the video of the latest person who has been killed by the hands of law enforcement. And it's like, that's why when there are people who I know, literally know personally, who fix their lips to say all lives matter after all the things that have been going on, that lets me know you apparently don't understand what Black Lives Matter means. And these people themselves are Black. And I'm like, like for real, like I know at least 3 people that I've known for well over 10, 15 years who apparently they do not know what Black Lives Matter means, and they themselves are Black. And I'm like, why would you say all lives matter? And anybody who wants to challenge me when I say that, you apparently don't know what it means either. So I'm not going to even explain myself when it comes to that. Moving right along. I am waiting until after I get off work today to try to finally see the video, but I've read a lot of commentary on it. I've already I pretty much know what it's about, what I'm gonna actually see. So it's like, this is my problem. This is one of many problems that I have. People have gotten to a point where they try to educate us meaning Black people, on the proper etiquette when you are faced with police officers, sheriffs, deputies, or anybody who is some sort of law enforcement official. And it's like, this shouldn't have to be what is done, but it is. And in all honesty, what is it really achieving? Because in so many cases, I've literally watched videos of these people moments before they get killed where they have been very polite, overly polite, to the point of where it's like, dang, you really shouldn't have even been nice to them. But that's what was going on. These people were really nice and did every single thing that was asked of them by the whoever was in charge in that moment, who had a badge, and they were still killed. They were still treated in a certain way, whether they ended up eventually dying or not. And that's why I don't understand why people are still shouting from the rooftops, America is just this amazing place to be. And I'm just like, no. No, it's really not. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, it is 2020 and people are still being killed like animals in the street, like it's nothing. And we're basically being told to deal with it. This is normalcy for us. That is ridiculous. Like, and for me, I've said this for years. I'm probably going to be crucified by people in the comment section about it, which is fine with me. I don't really care at this point. What is actually going to have to happen for this stuff to stop? Because the riots have led nowhere. The protests have led nowhere. People are still being killed for no reason. And in all honesty, I understand that certain things back in the day worked just a little bit as far as like the voting rights and all this other stuff. It's sad that we even had to do all that. It's sad that people before me, let me make sure I correct myself when I say that. It's sad that people who came before me had to say, I am a person too. I deserve a right to vote too. And all this stuff had to be put into law that we can actually vote as well. And we are considered to be a whole human, you know, and it's just like, what you mean? Like, and in all honesty, it's still not what it should be. Like, every time you look up now, they are putting so many stipulations on things. Y'all, I'm sorry. Like, I'm all over the place because it's just, it really is infuriating. And I'm trying my best not to raise my voice because stuff like this burns me up. And it's sad. I feel so many different emotions to the point where it's like I'm tired of being tired. But it's like, what can actually be done? I feel like all this rioting and all this stuff, it leads nowhere because with what just happened to this man begged and pleaded for his life, couldn't breathe, and they put their knee in his neck and killed him. And it's like he suffered all these injuries and he ended up getting killed. And it's on video showing when he was removed from the car and all this other stuff that there was nothing that was going on. He was completely cooperative. As in so many cases, that's what it is, and they still get killed. Perfect example. Sandra Bland. It's just to the point where, like when I was mentioning earlier about how we have to have all this etiquette whenever we are faced with a situation like that. Like, it's to the point now I'm scared to be pulled over. I have gotten pulled over 2 or 3 times in my life, and it's because I was speeding. I knew I was speeding. It just was what it was. And I've only received 1 ticket behind those 3 times I've been pulled over. And the time that I actually got a ticket, it was because I was speeding on behalf of my cousin to get him somewhere when he called me last minute that morning to take him somewhere. And he ended up paying the ticket. So, I mean, in all instances, I was very much so wrong. But when they approached my vehicle, I said what I was supposed to say. I gave them what they needed. And none of them were doing crazy stuff or made me feel like, oh my gosh, am I going to die today? Now, these instances all happened 10 plus years ago. I have not been pulled over since, thank goodness. And it's just to the point where I don't even like being out after a certain time of night, even though we all know that this can happen at any time of the day or the night. But I'm just saying, I just would rather not even be out. I don't even want to set myself up for that. And then, like, especially all this stuff that's going on, a lot of places are closed early. So there really isn't a reason to be out like that. And I don't see my friends. I don't get to see anybody. So it's like, there's nothing that I can really do anyway. But I just would rather not be out on the roads. Like, sometimes I really just want to get out and just cruise around and clear my head and continue meditating outside of being confined in this place. Like, that's it. It's as simple as that. But it's like, it's to the point where now I'm just like, nope. What if something happened? Who is going to explain to my parents that their child is dead hundreds and hundreds of miles away for nothing? And it's just like, there's so many things that you have to think about before you even leave the house. Like, a lot of people do not understand that. Anybody who has white privilege or whatever have all this money. Some of the people who got money, they ain't even got the privileges that, you know, you would think that they would have, all because they're black. So you can't be rich and black and think you're just gonna get away with stuff too. But I'm just saying, like, it's sad that you have to think, am I gonna make it home today? Am I gonna make it inside the house? Because there are people who literally will be, but then it's like, that's another beast. There are people in their houses and they bust in the house, and every time you look up, oh, it was the wrong address. You just shot everybody up in the house and killed them for what? Like, it's just like, You can't win for losing. But I just really want somebody to seriously answer this for me. What are we going to be able to do to stop all this? Like, what can actually be done? Because the rioting is not helping, and it's not helping. It's just not helping anything, in my opinion. And the protests aren't helping because the police are still being called. They still gonna mace you. They still gonna gas you up, gas you out, and they still was shooting you up and doing everything else, just like they did the other day after people were outraged after this man was killed. So it's like you still can't win for losing. So it's like, what can actually be done? Like it is so infuriating. Like it really is very infuriating. So I don't even know what to say because like I feel like it's something that will never end. I feel like it really is something that will never end. And a lot of y'all might not know, even though, I mean, I do have it within uh, my information. I've have it in videos and all this other stuff or whatever. But y'all, I am from Montgomery, Alabama. My city is the capital of the state. And for me, I never really experienced racism outside of one time. Like I knew for certain that it was something that was going on and I felt a certain type of way. And a lot of people already know what stigma is attached when you are discussing Alabama. And there's just so many different ones. But when it comes to racism, I've had so many people to just ask me once they find out I'm from Alabama, oh, well, has anybody ever been racist towards you? And I was just like, wow. Like, it's always been amazing to me that that's one of the first things that people ask me who actually want to be serious when they are trying to get to know me and they find out I'm from Alabama. So I think I've mentioned it before, but I worked for the state of Alabama. I had a brief stint as a social worker in the state of Alabama. And when I got hired on a few days after I graduated from college. I did my internship at DHR and I loved it. Like social work is everything and I do plan on getting back into it, but I don't even know how I'll be able to incorporate that now because what I was doing was child protective services. I had to be out in the homes. I had to, and it's crazy because every now and again law enforcement had to come along with me, just in case. Like if I felt a strong enough need to be like, okay, if you have any officers that are available, can they accompany me while I go and deliver this news or try to do what I need to do? And it's like, do I trust them now? Like, can I feel safe enough to even trust that they're gonna do what they need to do on my behalf? Like, but anyway, it's just it's too much. And now because of everything that's going on, I don't know how I will be able to incorporate that into what I want to do again, because I love social work, but it's just too much. It's too much going on in the world, and you never know how it's going to turn out. It's already bad. It was already bad enough that I had to worry about whether or not I was going to come home because of some of the situations that I faced when I was a social worker. Like, I'll give y'all some story times on that eventually, because when I tell y'all, I can write books on the things that I've faced and I've had to deal with when I was a social worker. Like, the most was going on. But anyway, y'all, I brought up Alabama to say, like, there's a lot that is associated with Alabama, and stuff like this that's going on in the world, learned about it in school. It wasn't until I was in college that I really learned about it. Like, they touched on things here and there when I was in kindergarten through the 12th grade, but when I got in college, especially when I went to Alabama State University, which is a historically Black university, still in my city, and that's where I wanted to go. But I didn't know about a lot of this other stuff that revolves around Black people, Africans, the way that we have been treated, things that we were taught in school but then things that actually were unearthed that were factual. Like it's just a lot, y'all. I would be on here all day if I went into it, but like it's so interesting when you really get into the dynamics of it all. And it's just sad that the fact that I am black could mean life or death for me. And that is ridiculous to me. I brought up Sandra Bland earlier because she's somebody who knew her rights. She knew her rights in and out. And it's like, they were like, oh no, she know her rights. I'm mad. And it's like, you're mad because this person knows their rights. So that's why I always look at people sideways when they're like, well, know your rights. And this is what you should do if you get stopped. And do this and do that. Will it actually work? Will it actually help? Because a lot of the time, you have to say, will I make it home? And that's very ridiculous. It don't make no sense. People are getting killed left and right. And I mean, these are just a few instances that are caught on camera. You already know. There are countless others that we will never know about unless somebody has the gall to come forward and say that this is something that happened, y'all. It's just a lot, and I'm tired. And stuff like this, it drains me, and that's why I don't usually really discuss them like that. That's why I don't really talk that much about certain things. So yeah, y'all, I am gonna watch it later on, and I don't know if there'll be more commentary, so to speak, on it, but y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think can actually come of all of this. These people have been fired, and I'm like, yay. Y'all, like that's supposed to bring him back from the dead. Like stuff like that makes me mad because he is dead. He had family who loved him. He had friends who loved him. And all this stuff that's going on in the world now, that most of them probably won't even get to attend the funeral because you can't have but a certain amount of people at the funerals. Like it's just too much. It's just way too much. Way too much. Y'all, but I rambled on enough. It's just so draining. Like it really is super draining to the point where it's just like sometimes I don't know if I'm going or if I'm coming. I just don't know. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for listening to me ramble on. I hope that y'all can try to have a good day because I'm gonna try my best to have a good day. Yeah, I'll have a good one. Bye. So, like a crazy person, I sat up here and watched the video via Shannon Sharp on IG. I don't even know why I did that to myself, and I still gotta get ready and go to work. But yeah, there were people who were on the sidelines who have been in the academy. I don't know if the guy who was talking about he trained in the academy with people who were like them, who were bums as he was calling them, which is, equates to me as trash. And there was a woman that was there who was not a black person. She was video recording it as well, and she said that she was like a firefighter or something like that in Minneapolis, and I'm just tired. I don't know why I just did it to myself. I really don't know why I just did it to myself, but I just literally watched that man die. And that man had already been dead and stopped moving, and that man still had his knee in his neck. And when emergency personnel arrived and they loaded him into the ambulance, it's just like, the man is dead. Everybody who was right there and witnessed it, they saw that man die. And they pleaded with him as well for them to let him up. Now, I'm trying to understand what's going on. What was he, resisting arrest for? Because the only thing that I really caught when I was watching it was at first somebody was saying that he was given the opportunity to get into the cop car and he didn't for whatever reason. I don't know. But y'all, I'm just tired. I just feel like no matter what was going on before this man passed away, it was just not that deep and that he didn't have to die. I'm just so tired. Now I gotta go to work. My mind is messed up. I couldn't wait. I just wanted to see it and just get it over with. I done messed myself up.